Did you know that the more you study correct information is the more you will realize that popular held opinions are often wrong? And so it is very important to read books that contain correct information, for the lack of it can be very dangerous. Reading books is not something we indulge in as a luxury, but it is more so a necessity of life for anyone who is trying to give their life a touch of quality. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. I'm fearless. Welcome to Back to the Basics, where you learn facts, hope you embrace it. Watch, like, share, bring in awareness. Watch, like, share, bring. Now I know that most think that real wealth is having a lot of money, which is not bad. But the truth is, most real wealth is not what we save in a bank. It is more so of what we develop in our brain. But what you have in a bank is by way of correct financial information retained in the brain. And so, what we develop in our brain is accumulated by what we put in it, meaning you must have input in order to have output. Aside from listening to those around us, books also instruct us. You see, unlike a person, books can instruct without anger. Books do not look down on one's ignorance or mistakes. Books ask only that we spend some time in the company of their greatness so that we may absorb some of its attributes. Remember, we do not read books for the book's sake, but rather for our own. So why do people read? Well, some people read for many reasons. Some read for a period of relief from a busy life. Some read because they never had the opportunity to go to college, and books give you a chance to get that knowledge in which you miss. Some read because their life is routine and books give them a feeling of adventure. Some read because they see the social, economical, and philosophical problems which need solutions and may feel that the best thinking of all past ages may be useful in your time as well. You may also read because you are tired of the shallowness of contemporary life. You read because you're bored of the common conversations on weary gossip about others. Everyone has a dominant personal reason for reading, but the one thing that is indispensable about reading is that it gives knowledge, creative power, satisfaction, and it cultivates your mind by calling its faculties into exercise. Books are a source of pleasure that is pure and everlasting. When one reads, and if the information is received, it can dispel prejudice, which many have in their minds, which are often developed from their early childhood environments. When you read good books, you'll be able to see that human nature is much the same from the past to the present. Some people act as if it's demeaning to be well read, not realizing that you can no more be a healthy person mentally without reading substantial books than you could be a vigorous person physically without eating healthy food. Now, although reading is fundamental or fun to mental, you should always be mindful of the source of books you read, because the evil one and his helpers have managed to write so many books about misinformation for the past 6,000 years, which helps to maintain his conspiracy of lies. With that said, books should be chosen for their possession of good quality information. Now, how do you know what you're reading or listening to is true? Well, there's a point in a person's life when they're reading or listening and something clicks and says, I might not like everything that I read or hear, but this is true. This is the day that you are born again. When you find yourself in company of good books, you'll find that you spend a lot of time trying to digest as much information as you can. Marking up books, missing train stops, losing sleep at night because you get so engulfed in the facts. However, simultaneously, the first part of that realization is to find fault in what you're learning because of the restrictions that may follow the truth. What do I mean? Well, when truth comes, oftentimes it is against the things that you have been programmed to accept. And once you notice that reality, it becomes difficult for some of you to adhere to it. You see, as long as the truth is simple and one can continue to do the things that they want to do, then they are content. As long as the truth is sweet, one is okay. But when that honey turns bitter, and when you start hearing that you can't do this and you can't do that, the truth becomes a problem. That restriction is the thing that makes people want to fight the truth. And they justify it by saying things like, I just want to be sure and certain that this is true. I don't want to be deceived again. all these concepts start to develop that they never had for all the lies that they have already accepted. But what it is really is the restrictions that you don't want. You want your freedom to roam and do what you want to do, how you like to do it, when you like to do it, eat what you like to eat. And that is the problem. You would find that the moment you realize that something is true, that's when negative forces in the form of people, especially those you were close to prior to being introduced to the new information, will come at you, trying to reinforce old beliefs that were not based in truth. So you have to be strong and study the truth in order to build sound conviction to defend it. Now, there are those who would say things like the truth does not need defending. And although that statement should be true, the reality is it is not. For a lie repeated often enough, as it is being done in modern society, becomes the popular illusion of truth that must be fought against by the defenders of the truth. I'm Kev Frey, and this is Back to the Basic. Like, share, and subscribe. Facts we stated. You wanna know something? Go back to basics. Most saw a trap and was called the Matrix. The world frivolized, yet it's hard to face it. So I spread truth, hope you embrace it.